Hello, my name is Luke,
My name is Asia.
My name is Iman.
And I'm Rohit.
and today we are going to talk to you about stress management. And I know this topic is really prevalent today as the COVID-19 pandemic is raging on. A lot of people are worried about, is the world going to be okay? Am I going to be safe? And many people have also had their plans changed as a result of this pandemic. A lot of people have to adjust their daily life and maybe worried about finances or even getting groceries and food and feeding their families. On top of this, there are still the daily stressors of life that have not gone away, such as work and other things. So here we're going to talk about some ways to manage stress, as it can be very pervasive and impact many facets of one's life, body, and mind.
Now, we want to thank you for taking the pre-organization survey. We really want you to think about what stresses you out, what really makes you tick, and what the stress does to impact your work life and your school life. Now, we hope that you see that stress is a natural response. Stress is not just something that occurs. We all experience stress. We all think about stress. We all feel stress. And deep down, even though we don't acknowledge it, we can recognize that stress impacts what we do in general. Now, we know that stress is there. So, what is stress? So, stress is a natural response. Now, it can be healthy in the short term, but in the long term, we must recognize that it cannot be healthy and it can have detrimental long term effects. Now, you might ask yourself, what can I do to curb stress? And curbing stress is just about relaxing the mind, because as we know, the mind follows the body. I want to toss you over to our meditation now with Asia.
Thank you, Iman. She's super right. What we have going on in our mind is really going to affect our behavior. So meditation is one active way that we can try to lower our stress. So I'm going to invite you guys to get seated in your seat, nice and comfortable, sitting tall. And allow your feet and sit bones to ground down into the earth. As you inhale, let your shoulders roll up to your ears. And as you exhale, let them draw down and back, relaxed as they fall away from your ears. I invite you to go ahead and close your eyes and take a nice, smooth inhale through the nose and out through the mouth. We'll do one more inhale through the nose, filling up your lungs completely, and out through the mouth. Allow your body to gently go back to its normal breathing pattern. Inviting the sensation of breath to enter into the lungs and fill your body with this fresh new energy. Your chest lightly lifts as you inhale and gently falls as you exhale. Follow with this breath, simple in and out. Let tension fall away from your forehead. Your eyes soften. Your jaw unhinges. And your tongue falls from the roof of your mouth. Letting go. Letting go. If your mind starts to wander about the past or the future, just bring it back to your breath. Enjoying the in and enjoying the out. We'll take one more inhale through the nose. Follow the breath as it goes through your nostrils and allow it to ground your hips into your chair and down into the earth. Exhale, let all worries go through an open mouth. We'll gently open our eyes when you're ready. So this is one meditation that literally can take a minute or two. And it just really brings fresh oxygen, because when we're tight and worried and anxious and stressed, we tend to have shallow breathing. So that means our breath only comes down maybe to our upper chest, when we actually have this whole area inside of our bellies where our lungs can be filled. So this is just one way to get fresh energy, fresh focus back into our body.
So while meditation is an active form of managing your stress, there's also a lot of passive ways for you to manage your stress as well. According to an article written by Business Insider, high levels of stress could also cause a negative influence on your leadership and ruin your productivity to an alarming extent. What's even worse is, though, is as leaders, we can fall into the stress trap in which we let the stress overcome us and dictate our everyday interactions. We all deal with disgruntled clients, difficult employees, difficult exams, even family problems, and letting all of these things run over us can be really unhealthy for us both in the short term and the long term. And so I want to talk to you about a couple of different ways you can manage your stress passively in just your everyday life. And so the first one I think is the most important is prioritizing yourself for yourself. A lot of people try to take on the stress of other people and manage the other people's stress and not really worry about how it's affecting them. If you can put yourself first and make sure you're giving yourself 100%, you can then give everyone else 100% as well. But if you're stressed, you're not going to be able to effectively deal with everybody else's stuff because you can't even deal with your own stuff. The second thing I want you to do is delegate tasks and narrow your focus. And what this means is try to isolate what's really important to you in life. There's 101 things probably running through your mind right now, whether it's what you're going to eat for dinner, what the temperature in the room is like, what your homework is. And if you can really isolate what is going on in your life and what's important to you, you can manage your stress more effectively and then deal with those extraneous things in a more effective way as well. The third thing that is important is keeping a good work-life balance. Obviously, we have stress from our personal life, and we also have stress from our family life. And so if we let the stresses from each of those bleed into each other, we're going to have a rough time in both of those aspects of our life. If we can focus on what's going on at work and deal with that stress effectively there, and then come home and separate ourselves from that, we'll more likely be able to be a better family member as well as a better leader in our workplace. And the final thing that I want to talk about is not being afraid to ask for help. I think a lot of people feel that when they ask for help, they're either viewed as incompetent or lazy, or they're seen as lesser. But I think one of the best ways to manage your stress is figuring out where you need your help. I think a lot of stress results from not being able to deal with your problems effectively. And whether it's just talking to a counselor or a therapist, going home and talking to a spouse or significant other, or even a sibling, can really help us manage our stress. And if we can manage our stress through communication, it can not only help us improve our interpersonal communication skills, but also our chronic stress will be reduced, which leads to less negative health outcomes and overall a better leadership experience in both our work and our personal life.